There's Downy. Hey, so I'm trying to think of where to start this update, but I don't know how I'm gonna put the footage together.
Welcome to A Farming Life YouTube channel, where we do life, we do family, and of course, we do farming. From our family to yours, welcome.
So basically, last night we got rained out. We were only in this field that was kind of a good driving distance, we'll put it that way. It wasn't close, I guess. Okay, so a lot of our fields, I have not had time to explain like any of this, and I will probably from now on my videos will probably be more informative because we're doing beans. So this is my view. A lot of the fields, our family's fields are very close to the farm. I think I've said this before, but I'll just preach it. When Red's grandpa got out of the military, he didn't have money for fields, but he had the time to clear timber. And so he bought a lot of really crappy land and cleared it. And so the fields, a lot of the fields that we have is all stuff that he cleared. And they've been able to, I don't know, purchase a few, I think, but I don't, that was before me. I really don't know much about that. They haven't talked about it much. We have a few landlords, so those fields are pretty close, but we have some that in a truck like this one's a single axle. We have one double axle. This one's also a single axle. Loaded, it's usually like 30,000 pounds loaded. So those fields are still pretty close, but they're a little more spread out. Our furthest fields are like, I don't know, probably 45 minutes drive, half hour, 45 minutes in these trucks, just because they don't go very fast. And of course loaded, you really only want to go like 30 miles per hour at the most. Whew, I hate being this, I hate it. I always get sick from it. Anyway, plus it's just like a nasty lingering, ugh. Anyway, so there's Daddy and the kids. He's got both of them. So anyway, a lot of our fields are pretty close. We've teamed up, it's worked out well this year, that Rhett and I have teamed up with the closer fields. And it's really nice because when we first got married, everybody's running everywhere, and it, you know, it's just different with livestock. And I grew up with livestock. Everything is very scheduled and structured, and everything's very much a routine, and obviously field work is not that way. And then the personalities in this family are not that way at all. So that's been fun. So then the year that JJ was born, Rhett and I mean, I really had to fight for this too. I really pushed that Rhett and I stayed close to the house, and that worked out really well, because with a little baby, you know, it just it needed to happen. We needed to stay close. I didn't want to be out at those fields that were far away. You know, when something happened or something broke down, and now what do we do with the child? And you know, babies, especially in car seats, because car seats really hold a lot of heat. That's just not something you really want to mess around with. None of our trucks, other than the semis, which I don't drive semis, none of them have heat, air conditioning. They're all pretty hot, and so it's really scary for me to have a child in a car seat, and I at all costs do not want that to happen. I pretty much refuse to drive them on the road. We live around some pretty busy highway. It's not smart. My opinion is it's not smart, and I will do whatever I have to avoid that scenario. Anyway, so then the next year they caught on, like, hey, this works out pretty well. I forget why. It was basically because of JJ we stayed close, but I forgot what the exact reasoning was, but that year they decided, it was like they decided that, it works really well to have Rachel and Rhett together, teaming up. And then because we just stayed at the closer fields, and so I was able to keep up with him, and the sisters weren't around. The younger sister helps out more, but she was like 4 or 5 hours away at school, so it was pretty much just us four, and his parents, and then him and I. So we did that pretty well all but 1 week last year, when we were at the fields about half hour away, 45 minutes away. Yeah, I mean, it ran so smoothly. Both of us were able to balance JJ. It just was wonderful, and we got a lot done. So then this year, and last year, I dumped in augers the entire time. I think I only spent like 1 week at the leg, and even then it was like maybe 3 days. So I was dumping in augers. We were not tripping over each other. That was the other thing that we run into every single year. It's just everybody's waiting in line at the leg, and then you have too many people, and then it's really frustrating. And then they feel like they have too many people standing around, so then they have to do all these jobs, which really makes it even worse, because now one person had to go do something else, so now you have to dump your truck and their truck and then try to pull their truck out of the way. Well, it's just like, freaking dump your own truck and keep moving. Like, for me, I have no problem driving from point A to point B, but when we get all this extra stuff and all this extra drama and all this extra, that's when I like go psycho. Anyway, plus it's not my family. Like, it's just, you know, I think you take for granted how much, you know, when you're raised in a family, you know how they operate, you know how people think, you know, kind of the system, and then to have somebody marry into that and then be expected to just pick up on that, it just doesn't work. Especially something like this, every day is so different, and it's a very stressful time, it's a very busy time, and it's just really rough. And of course you got to learn to work together anyway. Any job you're gonna have to learn to work together, but it's just different when it's family, because people show their true colors to family. For better and worse. But anyway, so then last year, Rhett's mom and I were both able to just like keep going nonstop and be able to keep up. And we had a hired hand that helped, I don't know, probably a total of 2 or 3 weeks. But you know, it was awesome. We kept moving. Then this year they decided, wow, that worked so good. And then obviously we have Ellie now too, that we're balancing. So now 2 kids. And so Rhett and I have stayed really close to the homestead, and have done a lot of the fields very close to the houses and very close to the bins. I think the furthest I've driven is like 10 minutes. The furthest I've driven is that house with the ponies. So that's not far, that wasn't far at all. And I think my mom must have had JJ that day. So it's crazy how just knowing your child is safe and with somebody that you trust, that I don't even really have to think about it. I can just focus on what I'm doing. And the days that I've had JJ, just because we were literally right next to where we were dumping, I didn't have to drive on the road or anything. That day I felt like I couldn't even focus, so that was different. But you know, when the kids are safe and taken care of, I can just do what I need to do. And so that's nice. So anyway, so this year Rhett and I have teamed up until yesterday. Him and I have been kind of doing our own thing, and it's went so smoothly. Just because I can't always get the kids at the door when they start, the hired hand has been helping me a lot, or like helping us a lot. which he's never really driven these trucks before. He was always in the semis. But anyway, that's been awesome. And it's just different, really, really different. I feel like I haven't really done much this year because, so this last week, Monday I drove, Tuesday they kind of moved over the shed, Wednesday they kept having trouble, Thursday they kept having trouble, Friday they didn't need us, and then yesterday was Saturday and I drove for like 3 hours and then we got rained out. But Rhett's uncle has been here all week, so that's been a lifesaver. You know, this was what he was doing for vacation, so he has a desk job. Oh man, he has a desk job, and so you know, he enjoys doing stuff like this. And then yeah, so then today we thought we were gonna have to help, and then they thought they didn't need us, and then now it's like I don't know, they needed us, but I've literally sat here for like an hour now. Oh well, at least we're in the action, showing our face, making effort, right? He's asleep in the seat. Brett just put that towel up there on the handle and AJ is out. Ellie's in there too. Alright, so I am in the shop and this little light bulb, this little tail light broke. Oh, there's a lot here. I think I might just take all of these. Let me turn these around. Oh, you can't see. There's a bunch of them here. Awesome. One with 2 little connectors. I'm gonna take just a handful of these so we have some at the other location, and we'll be set to go. If I can figure this out myself. Here we go. Just like that, I've changed my first taillight. Woohoo! Yay! You guys, I'm living through my kids, and I had gotten these on clearance last year. I have always wanted French boots, but being in our middle of nowhere, I just felt like they were a little too much for the community that we lived in, and I didn't have anywhere to wear them. But who doesn't love little baby boots? So anyway, I got these out yesterday, and JJ was so excited because he thought they were Ellie's new work boots. And so he keeps putting them on her, and actually he's putting them on right now. We're ready to go, and he's putting on her work boots. Can you get it? There's Velcro on the back. Whoops, the phone's charging here.
Oh, what's this?
For those of you watching for the first time, I'm still in the process of painting here.
Ooh,
So I got started, and then it was time to start harvest. Anyway, I just think it's really funny because they're clearly work boots.